Welcome to Martin Homebrew, and in this episode, I want to do a beer review. I made the pour, and it had a good head. It dissipated a little bit, and I will tell you that this is a whopping double IPA. It's made by Gnarly Barley. Give me the can. And the name of this beer is Forest of Feelings. This beer is a double IPA, obviously a New England style. So let's go to Untapped. Alright, wow. Forest of Feelings, double IPA. Gnarly Barley in Hammond, Louisiana. This is a 10.5 ABV. There is no rating on IBUs. This is interesting. The nose on this beer reminds me of a Saison. Yep, of a Saison. So a beer totally in a different style. So right now, as I'm looking on my Untappd app, there are 734 check-ins at a 3.99. That's pretty good for this style IPA. And I had 6 friends who checked this beer in and rated it on an average of a 4.0. So let's go ahead and look at what my friend said. So the last friend who drank this beer was Jeremy Keller. Jeremy Keller rated this beer as a 3.75. Let's see if there's... He didn't make any comments. Rusty Richard. Rusty's from Paulina, Louisiana. Rusty rated this beer as a 4.25. He didn't say much. He had a good, nice picture of his backyard. Jason McClung, also living down North Noble Subdivision, and Paulina, Louisiana, also a 4.25. He didn't give it any details as well. Man, these guys don't want to make a comment. Now this is interesting. Cody Coulon rated this as a 3.25. That's awfully low for Cody. Let's see what he said. Man, he called it nail polish. Maybe that's what I'm getting. Maybe it went sour. It's got a nose of a sour. And last, Jason McClung. Also, he rated this beer very high. He didn't make any comments. So maybe there was a canning issue. Maybe. Let's see if we can find the can date. Now that I'm looking more at this can, I see that this can was canned on May 8th, 2019. And as I look back at my friends who rated it, I actually can determine that as time went on, the rating for this beer got worse and worse. So that leads me to believe that this beer has some type of contamination. And the reason why I say that is early on, these guys are just knocking it out the park. 4.25, 4.0, and they're very happy on what they're tasting. But as I move forward about a month to 2 months, the ratings really dropped off. So if there was a contamination, maybe it's presenting itself a little bit stronger today rather than the day it was canned. Because I see that these ratings, these very high ratings, are mainly the week to 2 weeks after this beer was canned. What's interesting is that it's obviously not of its style. This is supposed to be a double IPA, and I'm getting a sour, but not a bad sour, not a sour that's turning me off. If this was actually was labeled as a sour, I would think it's a pretty good beer. A very hoppy sour beer. It's strong. I think what's coming through is that 10.5 ABV. I could really feel the fire of the alcohol. There's a good bit of yeast that's still in this can. I saw it as I was pouring it. So I'm going to rate this beer, and I'm going to rate it a 3.75. And I'm going to rate it a 3.75 mainly because it's not at all what I expected. I couldn't drink 2 or 3 of these beers at all. This is probably more or less just sipping. It's not drinking like a double IPA. I'm not going to say it's bad, but I will say that there must be some kind of contamination that's going on with this beer. Otherwise, I wouldn't be getting that fruity sour aroma and taste. It's definitely there. In fact, it's overtaken the entire beer to the point where I guess I would describe that I can't really pick up maltiness or hoppiness. It's just reminding me of a sour. It looks like a double IPA, but it's reminding me of a sour. So maybe they had a contamination. I don't think this is what the brewer was inspired to make. Surely by, I'm hoping I'm not hurting his feelings by this review. It's interesting that's the name of the can. Anyway, hats off to Gnarly Barley in Hammond, one of my favorite local breweries in Louisiana. I'm always excited when they have a new release. It's really an adventure to go down there and see what you might find. Once again, this is Jeremy from Martin Homebrew.